like, comment, and subscribe for more content. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Podcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's edition, we got quite a bit of Funko Pop announcements. We got the remaining pops of February 2020. Whoops, still trying to get over that year for some reason. And we are talking about such as the TargetCon Funko Pops, especially the newer ones. And we got the first set of March 2020 Funko Pop announcements. Plus, we have our segment called The Update in between those announcements. But let's kick off with the remaining pops for February, besides the TargetCon, because that'll be a separate thing. So, starting off first, we have ourselves a new pop for the Pop Around the World set, which is a Funko Shop exclusive, released at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST on February 24th. It is Tula, and this is for Brazil, I'm pretty sure. Then we got ourselves a couple more pops for the Frozen 2 set. It is a new variant of Elsa and Anna, and those are available now. Followed by, on February 25th, we have announced a new set of One Punch Man pops, which we have Saitama, Terrible Tornado, with a 1-in-6 glow-in-the-dark chase, and an EB Games/GameStop exclusive Moomin Rider. Then, the very famous Twitch/Mixer gamer, it's Ninja, in which that pop should be available, I think, as early as May 2020, maybe April if I'm not mistaken. Then, confirmed on the Funko app, we have a pop of Beta Ray Bill for the Marvel 80th Anniversary lineup, and this is going to be a Walgreens exclusive, and this should be coming soon, but it does say available now on the app, but nothing has been said by Walgreens yet about this pop. However, I can see this being available internationally. Then we got ourselves some Futura Star Wars pops, which we have Stormtrooper, C-3PO, and R2-D2, which those are scheduled to be Target exclusives in the United States, but I know these pops are available now internationally because I think the Stormtrooper was actually at our local Toys R Us. And then we got ourselves a Wizarding World pre-release exclusive of the Ron Weasley Patronus as the Jack Russell dog, which that will be available March 4th for gold subscribers, which actually March 4th is, as we're recording right now, that's the date today. And then tomorrow it will be available to the public on March 5th. And then last but not least, for this section at least, we have ourselves listed a Walmart exclusive black and white Babe Ruth, which that pop is available now. The Tula pop, it is very detailed and very colorful. However, I don't really plan on getting this pop, just because I don't think I'm going to get all the pops. But I'm sure a lot of people are going to get this because they want to complete that whole passport set with the pins and stuff, so I understand on that. The Frozen 2 pops, why are you making more Frozen 2 pops? Like, you should have just announced these when you had the abundance of Frozen 2 pops back in, like, October. I don't know, maybe this was saved because this was possibly a spoiler throughout the movie, so they didn't want to release it until the movie came out. But, obviously, I'm not going to get these because I'm not a big fan of Frozen. One Punch Man, a lot of people have been requesting One Punch Man for a while now, and I'm curious to see what the chase looks like in person because the glow looks kind of nice, but it kind of almost looks like it's a little sloppy compared to like what it looks like as the common. Like it looks more detailed as the common, while glow in the dark it looks not really that great in my opinion. And a lot of people are hyping about the EB Games/GameStop exclusive pop. It's cool that this is like a 4-inch pop, but it looks like it could be a Pop Deluxe because it's riding a bike. Then the Ninja pop, I know a lot of people are hyping over Ninja. I certainly have never heard of Ninja until this pop was technically shown off at New York Toy Fair, but not announced until after it. I know there's going to be whoever's a gamer is probably going to want to get this, or at least most gamers anyways, but this is alright. I like the hair though, that's pretty cool. Beta Ray Bill, I don't know who Beta Ray Bill is, but I feel like it has something to do with Thor, because it looks exactly like Thor, like the attire in that, except it's just got this weird head sculpt, and that's it. But this looks really detailed, especially like the lightning around the, what looks to be hammer and axe, mixed into one. Then the Futura Star Wars pops. These are alright. I mean, the Stormtrooper looks like there's a bunch of scribbles. But I think my favorite, though, out of these is probably the R2D2, just because it's got this cool, like, zebra effect, and you got little designs that are, like, black, red, and blue within that, so that's pretty cool. And C3PO is alright. It kind of looks like, C3PO looks like one of those like jelly beans where it's like you don't know whether it's the good jelly bean or it's the disgusting.
Bean Boozled?
Yeah, bean boozled. That's what it kind of looks like. It's like, oh, this may be the good one, and this is like the bad one. That's kind of what it reminds me of. The Patronus Ron Weasley pop. I don't remember if we actually or if I kept this part of the podcast or it was a deleted scene, but we did mention like, hey, guaranteed they're probably gonna make a Patronus Ron Weasley, and here it is. Ron Weasley. It looks really cool. It probably is like my favorite Patronus pop actually, out of all three of them. Maybe I kind of like the Harry Potter one a little bit better, but maybe this is a close second. But they're still pretty detailed and it looks cool. Then the Babe Ruth pop. I love the idea once again of the black and white variants of like older legends in sports. They did it with Muhammad Ali, looks very good, and they've done it now with Babe Ruth, looks wicked. Reminds me I'm watching like The Sandlot right now, and there's like the scene where like Babe Ruth comes out of the closet to like talk to Benny, I think it is, and he's like, "Heroes will always be remembered, but legends never die." I think that's the saying. I can't. It's been a while since I've seen Sandlot, but yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, the Babe Ruth looks pretty good. I might end up picking this one up because if you didn't check out what I forget what podcast it was, but I talked about. Actually, it might not have even been a podcast. It might have been for the ECCC video that I made the other day. You guys should check that out if you haven't yet. But I talked
Actually,
about
that video that hasn't been released yet. That releases. So what MD's talking about, which I'll mention at the end because I'm going to mention about all the content coming to the channel this upcoming week. Which what MD's talking about is one of the videos.
So when it comes out, you should check it out. I talked about how I've been collecting like goats in a sense. And if you don't know what goats means, it's greatest of all time. So basically, the person who I think is the goat of each sports category, pretty much. So I got like, for example, like Tony Hawk, Wayne Gretzky, and like Tiger Woods.
now as I remember, I think you did say it on one of the podcasts because it was when we
It might
talked
have
about the
been.
golf pops. That's when you mentioned about it. You had the certain section of like goats and like you wanted to add like Arnold Palmer to it for like golfing and like Tiger Woods, I think.
No, I think it was something else. I forget who it was. But needless to say, Babe Ruth is probably the GOAT of baseball, so I think this is the pop that I'll probably add to that section. I feel like this one's just a little bit better than the color variant one, like the colored one, the
Yeah,
original.
there's the colored one, and there's like what was supposed to be shared with the Funko shop during New York Comic Con, and it never went up on the website.
Yeah,
So now it was like I think only New York Comic Con, which is very rare to get that one.
yeah,
So,
I'm pretty sure it's like $100 or something.
no, it's probably more than
It
that.
might be more than that. No, this was a couple months back. And then yeah, we got the Patronus Ron Weasley. We seen it coming, kind of obvious. This is a pretty cool one. Looks pretty cute. And then these Star Wars pops, I don't know how I feel about them. They're kind of cool as like art pieces. I don't think like with a pop like this you'd really want to keep it in the box because it's more of a like look at how cool this art piece is. I actually think I like the C3PO the best. He kind of looks like a rotten banana to me. But then I kind of also like the like weird like digital kind of camo look to him as well as the rest of the markings that are going on it. And then this weird Thor guy. What did you say his name was?
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill. That's such a weird name. I'm surprised I never heard of this character before because usually I like the weird kind of characters that have like the same costume as other characters, I guess. And yeah, I'd definitely like to know what this is about. Like, why is he dressed like Thor, or is it Thor who's been like mutated or something? Like, who knows? I'm sure a lot of people do. But I find that the teeth look really good on this. I really like the teeth on that pop. Ninja, this is a cool pop. I'll probably end up picking this up. Ninja's a pretty cool guy, and I think this pop was done pretty good. It's supposed to look like him, obviously, but then it has kind of like some shades of his logo. Like if you could see, he's got like the ninja swords on his back or whatever. So that's pretty cool. I like that. The One Punch Man pops. Is this the first time we've got One Punch Man? I don't think so, eh?
No, we definitely, especially there was the Hot Topic exclusive
That
of
one
Saitama with like
the
the wig.
hair. Yeah, okay, yeah. So these are alright. They kind of like I wouldn't really be able to tell that they were One Punch Man if there was no box, but that's probably just because I'm not a huge fan of One Punch Man. Frozen 2 Pops, it's probably exactly what you said. There's probably some kind of spoiler here, whether it's with like this crown that's on Anna or like the dress that
Elsa.
Elsa's wearing. They're alright, I suppose. Lots of Frozen Pops being pumped out because they're obviously selling pretty well. And then what was the name of this Brazil Pop?
Tula.
Tula. I was gonna say Fula for some reason.
Fula or Tula the Fula.
I like this. This is cool. It kind of brings out the culture of Brazil here, and it's nice and colorful, which is nice. And one day I do hope to complete this passport set and start it.
And start.
So yeah, I'll definitely need to pick up this pop and get that pin to add to my one-day passport.
Alright, so now we're going to move on to the TargetCon Funko Pops, which you'll see on your screen there's only 4 photos, and that's because we're not going to talk about the TargetCon Pops that were previously announced by Funko, such as the 10-inch Thing that was announced with the Fantastic Four set. There was the Doc Holliday one that was for Tombstone. And there was a couple other ones that were already announced, but we're going to talk about the ones that are newly announced and never been announced yet by Funko. So starting off, we got 2 versions of Pusheen, which one is a 4-inch variant of Pusheen with Cupcake, and the other is a 10-inch Pusheen holding the pizza. Then we got ourselves a flocked Garfield, that's a Pop and Tea combo, followed by another Pop and Tea combo of Chester Cheetah from Cheetos, which this Chester Cheetah glows in the dark. And then we have ourselves here the 10-inch Kool-Aid Man from obviously Kool-Aid. And those obviously are available now since February 28th was TargetCon, so that's when those were available. So the Pusheen Pops, they're alright. I mean, I guess the pizza one would look pretty cool just because of what the size of the pizza would be on the 10-inch pop. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. The Garfield Pop, cool that they're making this pop flocked, and I love both the t-shirt and the box for this. I don't know, it's kind of hard to decide which one is better of these 3 just because, like, the t-shirt and the box are practically the same, so you could say like they're both equally the same, except now as I look at the box, I probably would say the box is the best once again because of the fact that there's the detail on it that says extra cheesy, it says includes pop and tea. Yeah, that's very cool. The glow-in-the-dark Chester Cheetah, I've seen some photos of it. It doesn't really look good in this glam shot, the way the glow-in-the-dark looks, but if you take the glow-in-the-dark like LED black light on it for a little while, it does give a nice glow on it. I've seen photos from like Disc Pops or those kind of pages. It's a very nice orange glow. Part of me was like, I wish they actually did like kind of a bag, like it's a bag of chips, but I see where kind of the box look comes from, because if you sent it out in a bag, then there's a huge chance that the pop will be damaged with the box. But if you did it more of the box way, which it still kind of looks like a bag of chips, except it's more square rather than like circular like a normal bag of chips, it looks very nice. And I'd probably say for this sake, in my opinion, that the t-shirt is the best part of this. Just my opinion on that. And then the 10-inch Kool-Aid Man, this looks cool. I never got the original Kool-Aid Man, and I think it's because I've been so like really like focusing on like what I really want or like what I really need rather than what I want. Like, yeah, this would look cool in my set, but it's like I'm not going to regret it for the rest of my life not picking it up. But if I were to pick up either the 10-inch or the 4-inch version, I'd definitely pick up the 10-inch. The 10-inch looks very awesome in my opinion. And I have a feeling like just looking at this, or at least I've seen photos, it's almost like you actually have one of those like jugs you put in your fridge that usually cool in this exact shape that you would put Kool-Aid in. So it'd be a funny little like April Fool's joke if you like actually drank Kool-Aid all the time, that you'd replace the Kool-Aid with the pop. So then like when someone goes and gets some Kool-Aid, they see the pop, it's like, what the heck is going on here? So I think it's about the same size if you put it in a 10-inch form.
Yeah, it's probably similar in size, so that could be a funny joke, that's for sure. I do really like this Kool-Aid Man. I kind of want it, even though I already have the 4-inch. But this one looks really cool. I like this a lot, and I hope it's not super expensive. So, TargetCon, what exactly is it?
TargetCon, they basically did it last year also, but like this is the first year actually that like Funko is kind of like recognized it. And they've even made a t-shirt for it, which you could buy during that day. It's a bunch of Target exclusives, just an abundance of them, and they get released on one day.
Okay, just like at all the Targets?
Yeah, at all the Targets. Except I know for a fact that I'm pretty sure the Chester Cheetah online and in stores was like the first thing sold out in like seconds. It was like this pop this year was like that glow in the dark Darth Vader last year at TargetCon.
Yeah.
Like it sold out in minutes.
Okay, so yeah, I couldn't see like a lot of these values going up because it's not like they're super like exclusive besides coming out on the one day altogether, right? So that's alright then. I might end up picking up that Kool-Aid Man. I think he's pretty neat. The Chester Cheetah, he's cool. I don't know how I feel about it being glow in the dark because I don't really think that's needed.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted it flocked.
Is there not a flocked one there?
There isn't. There's just the normal one and this glow in the dark one.
So maybe they're saving flocked for a different set. Or like not a set, but a different release.
Yeah, like it could be a Comic-Con or some other exclusive.
Yeah, exactly. Because some people who want that flocked one might not want the t-shirt. So it kind of does make sense. The t-shirt's great. I love the t-shirt. The box is alright too. It kind of reminds me of like the package you get goldfish in.
Haha, yeah. Wow, I didn't think of that.
That's what it looks like to me. Overall, it's a decent little bundle there. Then this Garfield Pop and Tea combo. The box is great. It looks like a box of lasagna. It looks cool. They got like one of like the original Garfield designs on there, which looks sweet. The pop itself is cool. This is definitely the version of Garfield that I would want. I would definitely want a flocked one. Then the t-shirt. So this t-shirt looks awesome. I love this t-shirt, but I do have a gripe about it. And that gripe is this isn't a pop t-shirt. This is just a Garfield t-shirt.
Yeah, I can see it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not popified. It's literally just a Garfield t-shirt. So for that reason, it kind of like knocks off some points in my book, just because it could have been popified. But I do really like that t-shirt. Then the Pusheens, yeah, these are all right. I do like the 10-inch pizza Pusheen. I think it's cool. That was one of the Pusheens that I was actually gonna buy if I ever did buy one. So now that there's a 10-inch variant, maybe that'll join my collection.
And I
one
think
day.
like it hasn't sold out. Like not a lot of people have picked it up. Like, and even I think Kool-Aid Man hasn't really sold out, but a lot of people have taken it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now we're moving on to the segment that we had debuted a month ago called The Update. Now, for those that don't know, The Update is a segment where whenever we do a top 10 list the week before, we a lot of times miss a lot of pops that we talk about. So in this case, from Tula all the way up until Kool-Aid Man, we didn't get to talk about on the last podcast. So this gives time to just look over these, and the update gives them a chance to potentially make it onto the top 10 list. Now we're going to update and see whether our top 10 list that we had done last week for February 2019, or why do I keep saying 2019? For February 2020 changed or not. So let's start with you, MD. Has your list changed?
No. There was nothing really amazing that caught my eye. Ninja, I would say, would be a close runner-up, because that's a decent pop. But, like, the Garfield one was kind of close as well. Like, a lot of the TargetCon ones were close, but it was like, just because they're TargetCon and a little bit more hard to get. Just some of the overall things, like the Garfield's t-shirt isn't popified, and then the Chester the Cheetah, his box doesn't look amazing. So those things kind of factored it in. If not, they definitely had a good chance of making the top 10 list.
My list also did not change, which if you want to know the list, you can go view the last episode of a Funko podcast where we talk about New York Toy Fair reveals and do our top 10 list for February 2020. So it has not changed, but Kool-Aid Man was super close of taking the number 10 spot. I will say that. The number 10 I had, it was very close of making it off, but I thought there was so much hype towards the idea of number 10, which you might know what I'm talking about. But just by a little bit, Kool-Aid Man did not make it to the top 10 list. Therefore, our top 10 lists have stayed the same for February 2020. So now we're going to move on to the first set of March 2020 Funko Pops, which the first announcements were actually made on a Sunday, which I find very odd because they never announce Pops on a Sunday. But March 1st, that's when the Sunday was, we have a couple announcements from there. So starting, March 1st, the very first announcement for March 2020 we have from the Netflix series Altered Carbon. We have 3 variants of Takeshi Kovacs, which one is Wedge Sleeve, Birth Kovacs, and Elias Riker. And those are expected to be released at some point this month in March. Then for the upcoming Minions 2 The Rise of Gru movie, we have pops of Young Gru, 70s Bob, Roller Skating Stuart, Pet Rock Otto, Kung Fu Kevin, Pajama Bob, a 10-inch variant of Roller Skating Stuart, and we have a glow-in-the-dark Kung Fu Kevin that will be exclusive to FYE, and those are expected to be released as early as May 2020. Then Fugitive Toys announced their own exclusive My Hero Academia pop of a charged variant of All for One, which you are able to buy in person next weekend at Emerald City Comic Con at their booth. But if you can't get it then, they are accepting pre-orders online and they will be shipped out on March 30th. Then confirmed on the Funko app, we have what will be a FYE exclusive The Devastator for the Batman 80th anniversary lineup, which according to the Funko app, it's available now. But like I said about Beta Ray Bill with Walgreens, that FYE hasn't said anything yet about when this is exactly going to be released. And then last but not least of what we're going to talk about today, announced today as we record this, on the Funko Shop, it will be a Funko Shop exclusive Wally Warhead from Warheads for the Ad Icons lineup. And this obviously will be released today as we record this, March 4th, at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST on the Funko Shop. Starting with the Altered Carbon. I've never really heard of this until Funko announced this, like a lot of announcements. And I'm kind of curious to know, like, throughout the show, how there's, like, 3 different versions of the person with the same character name. It's kind of like Doctor Who, and how there's, like, 20 doctors, but they all look different. I like the Elias Riker one the best. That's the bottom right in the glam shot, just because there's more, like, detail going on with it. Like, you got, like, the blood going above the eyebrow, around the nose, and, like, there's blood on the shirt. And even the attire is cool and the hair and all that. While the other ones, like Wedge Sleeve or Slev, is just wearing all black, so you can't really see the detail on the attire. And then Birth Kovacs has this like kind of camo attire, which brings it a close second. But once again, there's not really much detail, because the only detail there really is in the attire is the camo outfit and maybe whatever is strapped along his leg there, which is probably just like a holder for like a weapon or something. The Minion Rise of Gru Pops. A lot of people are not hyping over this. Like, there are people who are like, wow, why are you announcing these pops but not this? Which obviously everyone would say it's obviously a licensing issue why certain pops can't be announced. But some of these pops I really like. I like both of the Bob pops. I remember I seen Minions 1 and it was alright, but like I wouldn't go see it again or watch it again because it's not in theaters anymore, Minions 1. I like the Bob Pops, though. I always notice, like, whenever Funko makes a Bob Pop, like they had King Bob for the first set of Minions Pops, that looked cool, and now you got 70s Bob, and you got Pajama Bob, and they all look pretty cool, or, like, the both of them. They all have this, like, facial expression, and within both of them, like, one looks groggy, like, tired, because obviously it's in pajamas, so it's probably going to bed or something, and 70s Bob looks like he's ready to party. Pet Rock Otto has this kind of, like, mohawk thing going on, that looks pretty cool. I didn't know until I think it was a couple months ago. Someone said it in like a video that Gru is voiced by Steve Carell, who is from The Office as Michael Scott, which I didn't know that. The 10-inch Minion looks alright. I feel like it wasn't really necessary for this 10-inch. I mean, if you did a normal Minion that was 10-inch, I would have been fine, but just doing it off of what you already had as a 4-inch, I'm not really the biggest fan of. I do like, at least in the glam shot, of what the FYE glow-in-the-dark pop looks like. That's probably my favorite of the set, just because of how they're showing how the glow-in-the-dark looks on this pop. I hope it's as vibrant of yellow as it is in this glam shot when this gets released. This all-for-one pop is super detailed. Like, with Funko and My Hero Academia, they have become, like, some of the most detailed pops, and I think I mentioned it last week when we talked about My Hero Academia and the New York Toy Fair announcements. This pop is super detailed, especially on the one arm. There's like, I don't know, it looks like some sort of veins popping out, and there's even a hand within a hand. Yeah. If you notice that. That's crazy detailed. And then just the face overall looks awesome. This could be like Hero Killer Stain And possibly if there was one My Hero Academia pop that we could consider putting on our top 50 pops of 2020 list, which will be made by the end of the year and that we will release on the first episode of 2021, this could be the My Hero Academia pop so far that could fit that slot. That's if we choose a My Hero Academia pop. We have lots of time to go. We have like 9 months left of, or yeah, 9 months, 10 months. 10 months of 2020 left to choose from. The Devastator looks super good in detail. I never even heard of this character, but man, this looks very detailed. The eyes that are just like this bright red, awesome. It's got teeth, which is also awesome. Just the overall presence of this, and because it's part of the Batman 80th anniversary, it comes in the cool black box, which, wicked. Absolutely wicked, this pop. That's all I can say about this. And Wally Warhead, this has been rumored for quite a bit now, and it's very cool that they finally announced this. I love how they added warheads on, like, the little, I don't know what do they call it, a cloud above the head, or I don't know what to call it, but I love also the detail that they added the mouth where it's kind of like the face you would make when you eat something sour, especially when you eat warheads. And like you're like making it smaller, but then once you reach the middle and there's all like the sour liquid in the middle, and then you reach that part, that's super sour, and you make that kind of face. That's awesome. And it's even got a cool Warheads attire. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to purchase this today when this gets released at 2 p.m. EST, which is in about like an hour and a half as we're recording this podcast.
These altered carbon pops, these are going to be shelf sitters. These pops, one, suck. Like the first guy here, Fortnite skin. And then you have...
He's talking about Birth Kovacs there, just if you were wondering.
And then just the other two, they're not great pops by any mean. I've never heard of the show. I don't think it'll take off too much. Like something, let's say, like Stranger Things. Like, I don't think it's going to become some big, huge show. And, yeah, I see these in the near future being $1 pops at EB Games. The Minion Pops, the same thing. These will be on that $7.99 clearance shelf before we know it. I guarantee it. But these are cool. I do like them. I especially like the 70s Bob. Yeah, that one's pretty sweet. And the Gru itself is actually pretty decent too. I like how that one looks. Then yeah, like you said with the 10-inch Minion, why wasn't it just a normal Minion? It could have been Kevin or it could have been Bob. And I think it would have been way better than getting this roller skate one. The glow-in-the-dark pop, that's alright. Yeah, it should be cool. Definitely does look like the glow-in-the-dark will look good, and a lot of it glows, which is pretty cool. All for one, yeah, this thing's got a lot of detail. This is pretty cool pop. I'm interested on seeing what the back of the head looks like, because there's definitely probably some stuff going on back there, whether it's just how those like metal kind of pipes like connect.
Yeah, I gotta start watching this show soon.
And then the Devastator, you said his name was?
Yeah.
I thought this was Doomsday at first glance. And I mean, it kind of makes sense because Superman and Batman, it's all the same universe. So it makes sense that I would be able to tell at least that it's DC. This does look good. There's definitely a lot of detail going on with the ripped kind of clothes. And I still can't believe this isn't Doomsday. It looks so much like Doomsday. It's really weird. And I definitely like this pop. There's definitely a lot of cool shading going on too, like on his skin. The feet look really cool with the kind of like claws on his like toenails, I guess you could say. The head's kind of weird. It looks cool. Kind of wish that the eyeballs were glow in the dark though, because I feel like they're so bright as they are, and if they're glow in the dark, I think it'd be cool, even though it's just a subtle glow in the dark touch. Now, today, this was a surprise that this Warhead's character, he said his name is Wally?
Yeah, Wally Warhead.
Wally Warhead. I wonder when they decided that was his name.
I feel like it's been like that for a while. Even before the rumor started, like I remember it being like Wally.
Huh. Yeah, I never knew he actually had a name. But yeah, this looks really cool. It's neat that they kind of gave him a costume because obviously you never see his body. It's just the head for the logo. And I think they did a good job. And that could be a little bit biased because purple's my favorite color. And I do think that green and purple go very well together. But I like the added touch of having the logo on the jumpsuit. The shoes look pretty cool. The head itself looks great. I love how you have like the Rock eyebrows going on, and then one eye is bigger than the other, and that kind of adds.
Yeah.
It emphasizes how sour these candies are.
I don't remember a time where Funko has done that.
Eyes that are different.
Eyes that are different sizes.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen different colored eyes, but I've never seen.
Forky? Is Forky have different size eyes?
Crap, he does have different sized eyes.
I'm
I'm more than certain, especially the sad Forky, EB Games GameStop.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't think of that.
Debunked. Okay, so yeah, but the head looks great on this pop. I love this pop. Can't wait to add it to the Ad Icons collection.
Alright, so that's going to be the end of today's podcast. It was a little bit shorter, which is a little refreshing because last week's podcast was almost an hour long. This upcoming week on the channel, we got some cool videos coming out. Monday, I'm going to be doing a reaction video to a Top Pops video. And specifically, I'm going to react to his world's longest Funko Pop Hunt video. That is like an hour and a half long. And I reacted to the whole video, and it will release this Monday. Wednesday, MD Shady hosts a new edition of Which is Better, which will be between the 2019 and 2020 Emerald City Comic Con exclusives. It's a good timing because the day after that video releases, Emerald City Comic Con begins. But anyways, if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you smash that like button to let us know that you're enjoying the content that's being provided to the channel, including this podcast and many other videos. Comment in the comment section below on what your favorite pop from this week is. Press that subscribe button for more content like this podcast and other videos in the future. And press the little bell beside it to be notified of when future content gets released. But anyways, thank you all for listening to this podcast, and we will see you guys next week. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Peace in, peace out.